Welcome back to the France 24 newsroom. I'm Tom Burgess-Wilson. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to begin in Belgium, a country which has been on high alert ever since the March 22nd Brussels attacks, in which 32 people were killed. Local prosecutors announced a little earlier on this Saturday that 3 men have now been charged following a major anti-terror operation, which took place in and around Brussels, during which around 12 people were arrested. Well, just 2 days ago, reports circulated in the Belgian press that an attack was imminent. Well, for more, we can cross now to Antwerp and speak to Ricardo Baretzky, who's president of the European Centre for Information Policy and Security and also an expert on counter-terrorism. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Could you just tell us how significant you think it is that these 3 men have been charged? How big a catch is this?
Well, the reality is here, we have to, they have been charged. They have not been sentenced. And I think this is very important to understand that this is only the first step. We have seen in the past where people was charged and let free within 48 hours or even before. And there's a real risk here that the lack of evidence might not be in the favor of the state. But I think there's also a very good thing that's happened here, and it sends a strong message that the police services across Belgium is very active, and that's a very good thing. And let's remember, the people in itself, needs to see these type of answers and developments happening. So the real question is just, will the prosecutor be able to hold this, and will he stick in a court of law?
Yeah, and just looking at the sort of the threat level and the context of all of this in Belgium, the media there in Belgium released a report in the middle of last week saying that an attack on Belgian soil was imminent, and yet the threat level remains at number 3, not number 4, which is the highest level. Why do you think that is?
Well, this is, of course, a decision. I cannot speculate because I can't speak on behalf of the state, but I speak on behalf of the ECIPS. I think it's important that, they're trying to reduce the fear factor. The reality is the threat is still very high, and the threat across Europe is still very high. And I think to relax the guard, it's a very dangerous situation to do that, because it gives the impression, well, it's all okay. While it might not be okay, and it's a very dangerous situation if they don't pay attention to this, and it's a very serious risk to that.
Yeah, and I heard today as well that the authorities there, they're stepping up the security arrangements for quite a number of individuals in Belgium, politicians and other leading figures. Is that all, do you think, part of this sort of broader threat that the authorities are feeling right now?
Well, they should have stepped up security a long time ago for political leaders and politically exposed people, and as well as particularly the MPs from Parliament. So this comes as no surprise. They should have also paid attention to this long before we've seen what has happened a few days ago in London. So the reality is that anybody working in a government facility or related to any information services is highly at risk. And they have to pay attention to this particular aspect, not only particularly in Belgium, but particularly in the rest of Europe, and particularly in Germany and France.
Okay, well, thank you so much for speaking to us, Ricardo Baretzky, the president of the European Centre for Information Policy and Security. Thank you again.